Hi there, I'm Rob Anderson. Today's video on crafters and craft markets is in fact going to be on African curio traders. The world is full of them here in Africa, or if you like, the African world is full of African curio traders. However, they're not always well represented on the craft markets. So today what I did was I actually was going to go to, let me find this thing and click on it. Oh, by the way, sorry to show you this, have a look. Give me a sec, find the right buttons to click. As you can see, I've resized all the images and, sorry, they don't always fit into the film, the video square. Apologize for that. Okay, so today I went right in the heart of Sandton City, which is slightly north of Joburg, perhaps maybe the most important financial hub in Africa, and obviously full of tourists. And there's a place there called Nelson Mandela Square, next to a big shopping center and these hotels, and there's an African craft market. So I went there. It was in fact slightly left of this, and lo and behold, they were gone. By the way, if you look here, there's Nelson Mandela's statue. In fact, I zoomed in on it a bit on here so you can see. But I found out they weren't there anymore, and I went outside and asked the local, in fact, people in the area, and they said that these guys are up the road. So if you're interested and you're in Sandton, it's in Maud Street, M-A-U-D, Maud Street, and it's between the Stock Exchange and the Sandton City complex, the big financial hub there. In the street, there are a bunch of traders. Weren't that many. Let me guess, perhaps 20. I'm not too sure. They're permanent, 7 days a week there. And obviously they're catching more tourists than anything else. And then, local people that are on foot between all the office blocks and things that are all around there. Now, I've always loved the African curios because they're pretty much 99% handmade. Every single piece is individual, even though if you look here, this guy's carved over and over again, but each time he has a different look, a different feel. No matter how you cut it, it's still a unique piece. Absolutely beautiful. I went up and down and took a couple of photographs. I'm going to run through them with you as we go. Some beautiful things, perfect things like these here. These are nice for jewelry boxes and things. Absolutely amazing, and the amount of work that go into these is incredible. These are pieces of ivory, I think. Either way, they're tusks of some sort. Horns, I'm not even sure. To be honest, I didn't ask. Something that was very amusing was that it's been probably 6 years since I traded on the markets, and when I went there, this guy is an old friend of mine, and it was an absolute pleasure to see him again. It's nice to see guys that I used to trade with on the markets, because it's been a while, and we very often would spend 2 or 3 days on a market together, literally as neighbors, all day, every day for 2 or 3 days, and then, a couple of weeks later we'd be neighbors again somewhere clean across the country, so a different place. This is great. It's a perfectly good street scene, and it shows you how far down the guys went, so I don't know how many of the traders there were. It was fairly quiet. The guys are telling me that it's normally much busier during the week, and that's understandable. Framing the curios is a great thing. In fact, I did it myself when I was doing art. I used to go and buy the original pieces and then do all sorts of cement textured things. Here's an example where there's the big 5 carved and then framed. Looks great. There we go. They're all off somewhere. Absolutely beautiful. Jewelry, always bright and colorful, true African style. Absolute pleasure to see. I took quite a few pictures of the jewelry. Look how beautiful that is. These are, I think they call them batik. I presume these might have just been painted. Yes. I'm not too sure if it's always batik or painted. Lots of fabric as well. You can just see it here in the corner, fabric pieces. Always a very nice combination of wood carved pieces, very often hardwoods, which is nice because those pieces will last for a very long time. And of course, stone. African carvers use a lot, craftsmen do a lot of carving in stone. There's more beads. Beads are very, very popular. These are pieces, they were literally piled up and stacked, and it's absolutely beautiful. I just love the color combinations and things. If I'm correct, these are Swazi styles from Swaziland. I'm not totally sure, to be very honest. But the beadwork is in Ndebele as well, all very, very popular. Tribes right across Africa do all of these things, these handcrafts. Absolutely stunning, traditional stuff too. All of it incorporated. Doing the teaspoons in sets with beads, beautiful, lovely. I've seen that often, and they're very popular. They sell very well. I enjoyed these turkeys, I suppose, or peacocks. I made jokes about chickens, and I got into trouble. Now, one thing that you perhaps I should point out with the African crafters, one reason they are very popular with tourists is because the prices are incredibly cheap for that work. If I had to carve any one of these or make one, it's, in my opinion, a day's work. So I would want a minimum of $100, just as an example. And these guys are charging way less for that. Absolutely incredible that they can actually go out and produce it. Bookends, I love these. These are very nice. This was a specific type of stone. Not too sure which kind. Soapstones are very popular. But I didn't ask, to be very honest. I was so busy chatting to my old buddy as we went along. A lot of the traders literally sit and keep things cleaned and polished and things using all of the natural and available waxes and things that they can. And it's always nice to see that you know things are in ship shape when you've bought it. Collection of jewelry that I did like. Not sure how much work goes into doing these beads. It was thick. Quite a lot of bags and things too. It makes sense that the curio traders will always have craft related gifts that can easily be taken back and as a unique piece to friends and family from a tourist point of view. Don't you just think the sheep is really cool? Zebras, a hippo. Absolutely stunning. This guy was right at the end. Wire cars and original wire wound toys and things were very, very popular. Less so these days. People, the competition has become pretty fierce, and it's becoming more and more sophisticated, the crafts. People are wanting, the buyers are wanting things that are more sophisticated. I think he's pretty cute. I think this is his cousin. Not too sure. In one of my previous videos, I think it was the Irene market, there were quite a few of the curio guys there. Always very popular on the markets. Some more beads. Something else too I noticed, and this is something I want to quickly point out to you. When I was on the markets, I ended up after a few years with friends from all over the world, all over Africa, sorry. And immediately I noticed this guy had a slightly different accent to South Africans, and it turned out he was from Kenya, and that is often the case, that you will meet and make friends as a trader with people from all across Africa, right from the West African coast, Ivory Coast side. And after a while I learned to tell very, very quickly the distinct differences in dialect and tones, because obviously there's things like a difference in French. And in Kenya, for example, there'll be things like English influence, hold your horses. In amongst all of it was a fruit vendor. In fact, his fruit looked really delicious. The masks are very, very popular, always have been. In fact, I've got quite a few around my own house. In fact, I've got a lot of curios. I've always loved them. So they're very popular in my house. These very items, there's probably 3 or 4 of these, and a couple of the big masks. djembe drums. I in fact swapped one of my hammocks once, way back in the years, and still got my drum. Love it. Play it often. Great stuff. Okay, that's it. Thanks for the tour of this. So it wasn't necessarily a normal market that I would have put together a video for, but it's nice that I can show you the kind of variety that we get here in Africa from street vendors across to formal markets and others. And yeah, thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks. Bye.